So, Thomas, you're joining us from Sweden,
Indeed, I agree.
and Epishine is doing some really interesting work in actually manufacturing roll-to-roll OPV devices, and they've made tremendous progress in a very very short time. So, very impressive work, and I'm sure the audience would love to hear. So, the stage is yours for the next 20 minutes, and yeah, good luck.
Thank you so much, Katja. And thank you to the entire Tech for organizing these wonderful events. And also thank you to the previous speakers, I should say. I hope I can continue making things as interesting as they have been up until now. And also a little bit of disclaimer, I think my presentation today is slightly less technical than the rest of you guys, although I really love to discuss the deep details there. So by all means, take it in the Q&A session or message me directly somehow. I'd love to keep the conversation going. Well, with that, let's get into my talk, which is titled Self-Powered Sustainable IoT. Yeah, just hit it off. Of course, my name, as Kasia introduced me, Thomas Osterberg, the R&D manager here at Epishine, Sweden. And I think I'll start up the talk by going really wide, and then at some point in the middle, I'll come to my company, exactly what we do. And yeah, let's come along for a ride. So first, I think most of the previous speakers have been concerned with utility scale, how to implement it, and so on. Very interesting stuff. We as a company, we want to get there at some point, but we're not quite there yet. Then we differentiate between the subsegments, the phases in our case, where you can either compete with silicon, building huge parks, or you can stay somewhere in between. Use the lightweight constructions of these third generation emerging PV technologies, especially perovskite and OPV are what we are concerned with, to make new solutions. We're not quite there yet either. We're looking quite closely at it though. To 98% or so, what we're doing currently is concerned with what we refer to as phase one. Indoor light energy harvesting. Harvesting the light that's in around us, like over me right now, to powering small devices and make our use of energy more efficient. So this nicely summarizes our mission as Epishine. We want to use printed solar cells to accelerate the global shift of sustainable energy solutions. And again, I will focus quite heavily on what we refer to as phase one here. Hope to make it interesting for you. So again, zooming out a little bit, there are some major trends happening in the world, mega trends, if you will. And the thing we're obviously concerned with is how much carbon we put out in the atmosphere and want to reduce it. So the global effort should be, my hope continuously is to reduce the use of fossil fuels. And this means that we need to replace it with something. And solar is in focus here. And this has a number of consequences. The grid becomes more decentralized, which is both good and bad. I mean, it's bad in terms of intermittency. So we're very thankful for the other Technic members who are working for the next generation batteries to make them more efficient and reliable. We can do good things together, I'm sure. But the other thing is also when it gets more dispersed, we have more of a driving force to generate data in various places, digitalize everything, to make the world more measurable and hence more efficient. So that is what we are very concerned with. And I think this little pie comes up a lot with various slices when it comes to the weight of the various things. We talk a lot about, I should say there's a slight asymmetry of attention. There's a lot of focus on transportation, especially EVs to replace internal combustion engines. Even when it comes to trucks, we're talking about electrifying them, airplane fuels, everything. And industry a lot. There's a lot of talk about German gas currently to try to find better alternatives to work with there. But something that is not as much in focus, maybe not quite as sexy, let's say, is how we use energy in buildings. I think all of us are sitting in buildings right now. We're using computers, lights, energy, heating, whatever, and that drives a lot of energy use. Exactly as much as is depicted here, in fact. And while we are certainly keen to do something about it, the EU is also, they're implementing regulations that take effect quite soon to make buildings more carbon efficient. So coming back to my outlook again for the two three fields, I will blur out the one in the middle, not because it's not important, but to make a point. The point being that there are two things to focus on, I should say. It's either to generate power, that's why we want to go utility scale, or to optimize the use of the energy that we create. And this is what we are concerned with in phase one, optimization of